Waddles. I asked Professor Albertson about the... What are you doing?
Oh, well, I thought I'd lay all my stuff out on the floor so I could slowly start to put it where it should go. But, all I've done is completely cover your floor with stuff. Kinda looks like a yard sale exploded.
Let me give you a hand. Not to brag, but I'm pretty good at organizing.
I know. I've seen the cupboard, and I'm impressed. So, seeing that tonight's my first night in the treehouse, I thought we could have a bit of celebratory entertainment. You know, entertainment to celebrate.
Oh? Did you have something in mind?
There's a possibility that maybe I could have perhaps a little something in mind along the lines of a very personal story I'm sure is very difficult to share.
Very what?
I hope it's okay to bring up, but I was wondering what happened to your friend who helped you build this treehouse. I got the sense the other day when you were showing me around that something sad happened between you two.
Huh. Wowee, you're a perceptive little fella. You're right, it's a pretty sad story.
Or you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, of course. I don't want to be nosy or get kicked out of my brand new house.
Oh no, it's okay. And don't worry about getting kicked out. I gotta keep you around for the rent money.
I gotta pay rent? I'm gonna have to get a job.
Kidding.
Sure.
Let's see. It was about 10 years ago when I first met Parker. If I remember correctly, I sat beside him in homeroom class my first day of high school, and that's all it took. We became best friends right away. We started hanging out after school at my place, talking about what we were going to do after we graduated, and all the places we were going to see. We were going to travel the world. England, Scotland, New Zealand, Israel. We were going to find buried treasure in hidden caves, shipwrecks, you name it.
I'm sensing but something coming up.
Not just yet. We graduated together, and then Parker came to me with an idea. Let's do it. Let's do all the things we talked about during high school.
Did you do all those things? Even finding buried treasure?
We sure did. It was just like we dreamed it would be. Plane rides, boat rides, elephant rides.
What?
Buried treasure, lost cities, all of it. Then something happened with Parker.
Oh no. I knew it was coming.
It was maybe 3 years ago or so. We had built the treehouse, and we had been living here for a few months. We just finished building the new addition, which is my radio studio now. It was late one night, and I was about to head off to bed, but I decided to grab some water first. I was walking to the sink when I noticed Parker going through his knapsack in the main room. He was setting aside some treasures we had found on our last trip to Peru, and then he pulled out something that made my heart sink.
What was it?
It was an emerald. A very, very valuable one, too. We had stayed with a couple who knew the area and had helped us to the ancient city we were looking for. They were explorers themselves, and once after dinner showed us some of their findings. By far their most valuable piece was the emerald, and Parker wanted it badly. They couldn't let it go. It was very special to them. So Parker stole it.
Wow.
I shouted at Parker, and he spun around and started yelling back at me, saying how they didn't need it or they didn't realize what it really was. I kept yelling at him at how disappointed I was, and that we had to get back and return it, but he wasn't having it. He started yelling at me about becoming boring and a goody two-shoes, and that I wasn't adventurous or fun anymore. Then I said stealing isn't adventure, it's sin, and he had it with that. He shoved the emerald into his bag, ran to his room, and grabbed his gear. I tried to talk him down, but he was done. He stormed out of the treehouse, down the ladder, and was gone into the jungle. It's been years, and I haven't seen him since.
Wow.
Tune in next time for part 2 of today's episode, The Parker Story.